Hello. Hi, Angelica. Okay, we can see Angelica, but Angelica. You're gonna have to tell me how to pronounce your name in a minute. No rush. I think I'm gonna put down my. Hi, welcome. You're on mute, just so you know, I can't hear you. I think I automatically defaults to mute people. So you might need to unmute yourself. And I'm not super Zoom proficient despite using it for the last year for these information sections. So I'll let you know when I can hear you. But in the interim, I'm going to put down my window shade. Hopefully creates less of, okay, a little bit less. Maybe I'll do both. You're still muted, but that's okay. No worries at all. So just so you know, I use Zoom probably like a couple times a month. And I've been telling myself to just take a YouTube University tutorial, but I have not gotten there yet. So no worries. Sometimes I don't even know how to record on this thing. Luckily, it just automatically syncs to the recording. Oh, you're on a phone too, so that makes it harder. But no worries. Welcome, all the same. When you can unmute yourself and speak, I welcome that. There's quite a few people who signed up today, just as an FYI, and hopefully they all make it. That would be great. But sometimes people sign up and don't make it, so it could just be the three of us. April and Jenny, or close to that, and my reading AI notes that just help me summarize the meeting at the end to share it with people. Hi, April, welcome. I was just trying to chat with Angelica. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce your name, who was not able to unmute themselves to correct me potentially.
I'll
Oh,
come off of mute and talk with you.
oh, thank you. It's so funny because as some of you may know, who might have signed up for the original date, which was November 26th, I rescheduled. Thank you for being here. If you were one of those people who signed up for the original date and still could swing it today. I rescheduled, and then like maybe 10 minutes before this meeting started, I had like a sneeze attack. And so I sound all congested and nasally, but I promise I'm on the mend. On Tuesday, I could not talk, so thank you guys for bearing with me and accommodating the reschedule. After like 17 days of travel, I came back with a upper respiratory infection, which don't yield any antibiotics if you go to the doctors, by the way. So just save your copay, just get Mucinex and Advil or, over-the-counter meds, because the doctors are not going to do anything. But it just taught me to wear my mask on the plane, because I feel like it was like all the recycled air on the 12 or so plane rides that I took in that time. But anyway, sorry if I sound a little nasally and congested. I promise you I feel okay. I just had a sneeze attack, maybe allergies right before this. So thank you everyone for being here. More people might join throughout the session, and I welcome them, but I don't want to hold things up or belabor things. So I'm just going to get started with our trip information session. Thank you, April, who joined last minute. I invited you this morning. I'm so excited to have you on, especially as someone who just came on the last trip, most recent trip. And you can correct me. We're going to do introductions in a minute for those who are able to unmute themselves. But welcome to everyone else who's also on the trip information session. I'm looking forward to spending this hour or so with you, learning about you, your travel wants, do's and don'ts, as well as sharing a little slash a lot more about Lesbifriends travel in our upcoming travel experiences, and hoping you guys sign up to join one. Thank you. I feel fine. I promise. I just sound like I sound. So apologies for sounding super congested. And okay, so first things first, I do like to start these off. These are interactive sessions, so I do like to welcome everyone. I don't want to just
I got it.
Oh, we can hear you. Yay.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. This is great timing because we're going to do introductions and you were just on, so I'm going to tell you to contribute. I'll go first because I like to lead by example and not put people on the spot too much. But we're going to do a quick round of introductions, just to introduce ourselves to the group before we get into the upcoming excursions and the information that I'm going to share with everyone. So I've been doing this for like a year and change in both sessions. And so I switched things up, but off the top of my head, we're going to do your name, where you're calling from. I'll put this in the chat when I'm not talking. Your name, where you're calling from. Also share what is a bucket list place that you would like to go, whether it's a Lesbifriends upcoming trip or not. I just would like to know where you might want to go in the future. And then also share one thing in your carry-on luggage that you have to pack. Okay, so I'll go first. My name is Lisa. You can also share pronouns if you like. No pressure. My name is Lisa. I am Lesbifriends Travel. And thank you for coming on this information session. I live in Washington, D.C. I'm originally from Boston, Massachusetts. You don't have to include where you're originally from unless you want to. One of my bucket list places is Turkey. And I got to stop there on a layover on the way back from my most recent travels to Thailand and Vietnam. However, I didn't get to leave the airport. I really want to go to Turkey and do a hot air balloon ride, see all the cats that are on the street that I hear about, and see the great architecture. I don't know about the food, but I'm willing to try it. And then one thing in my carry-on that I have to bring is I just got this less than a month ago. I'm big on sleeping on planes. I can fall asleep before I take off. And so I just invested in this Fly Hugs wrap pillow that stabilizes your neck when you go to sleep on a plane. After traveling for 24 hours twice, I just feel like I need some neck stabilization. So the $30 or $40 investment was well worth it. I've upgraded since my Marshall's $10 pillow. You don't have to get that one, but I recommend it to everyone who could fall asleep on a plane. Okay, so we're gonna go with you, and you're gonna correct me, Angel. I'm just gonna call you Angel. You're gonna correct me how to say your name, and we're gonna go with you next. So your name, where you're calling from, a bucket list travel place, and something you need to pack on your carry-on.
Okay. Hold on. Sorry. Totally messed that up. Hi, I'm Angelico, or Angelique is fine. Angelique is good. Let's see. I'm from Maryland. And let's see. Oh, so my next dream stop is Reykjavik in Iceland. I am dying to go. I have been dying to go since COVID. changed everything, but I really want to see the Northern Lights, and I want to the like the glaciers and the craters and the black beach that they have there. I'm really fascinated by that. So yes, Iceland is definitely on my list. Let's see, what do I need in my, so I like to have this pashmina. It's not, it's like a comfort item for me. I can wear it over my head. I can wrap myself in it when I'm resting, or put it over my shoulders if I'm chilly on the plane. So that's kind of my go-to. So that's my kind of my thing that I need to have in my carry-on.
Thank you for sharing, Angelica. Angelico. Sorry, I already messed up. Repeat it one more time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I muted? I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
Um, it's Angelique, did you hear my name? Did you? I'm sorry.
Angelique, yes,
Yes.
Angelique. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing, Angelique.
Oh,
Sorry,
sure.
I
Oh,
mispronounced
that's
it
okay.
after
Oh,
literally
please.
into it.
It is fine.
Beautiful name. Iceland's on my list
Yeah.
too. I'm excited, and I love that you like to travel with a pashmina. You can always use a scarf. I welcome that too. So great list. Thank you for going first. I
Oh, sure.
appreciate you. All right, who's up next?
I'll go.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll jump in here. If you hear a little bit of background noise, I'm waiting in line here at the barbershop. But everyone, my name's Kalila Joseph, but feel free to call me Kay. I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let me go back to the chat to see what else to share. The place I'm looking forward to or most excited to visit is Egypt, Cairo. So I'm excited to hear about that today. And one thing that has to be in my carry-on is I plan on having like a dedicated journal for Egypt. So I would love to kind of start having dedicated journals for every place that I visit.
Oh, what a great list. Thank you for being so succinct. Love that. And thank you for also sharing what you want to know about, because I will have you guys weigh in a minute or so on that. Because there's a lot of places that we're going next year. But for Tylela,
It's like Delilah, the song, or the name in the Bible, but with the K.
Kalila.
Yeah.
Kalila. I might call you Kay, but I'm that person that likes to get names. I haven't had coffee today yet, so no excuse, but Kalila, thank you. Nice to meet you as well. Okay. Who would like to go next? There are four other people. I put it in the chat, but I will put it again. We're just doing a quick introduction. Name, where you're calling from. You can also include where you're originally from if you like, and your pronouns. Optional. Bucket list place you want to travel, and a must-have in your carry-on.
Okay, all right.
Hi, Yvette.
Hello,
Or Yvette. You can correct me.
you're
You're
at
unmuted, so you're next.
who, me?
You.
Oh, you know how shy I am. How are you? Happy holidays
Yeah.
to everybody. Um, I'm on ground or either a cruise I'm good for. I done been to a couple islands and everything already. So I will be at the retreat, and is it June or July? In July?
It's July. And where are you calling from?
I'm from PA. I'm up in the mountains.
Thanks for letting the people know.
Okay.
Do you have a must-have? I know you're a ground traveler, not a plane traveler, not an air traveler, but what is something that you like to have when you travel?
Long as I have my music, I'm good. You know, um, I don't need a whole lot of comforts, food comfort things. I keep it simple. Um, and people around me have a good time. That's what it's really all about for me.
Well, I love that as well. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm excited to have you in Pennsylvania in River Mountain. So looking forward to seeing you then or sooner.
Okay, well, we'll see. Weather pending here because it's 24 degrees. My daughter, I'm just jumping in the house, as a matter of fact, and jumping online because she lives in Ohio and her car wouldn't start this morning and we had to go get a battery to get her on the road. And I had a leak in the bathroom. I'm getting ready to fix this after I get off the phone, after I get off the meeting with you guys and watch some football.
You got a busy day ahead. Thanks for sharing part of it with us. Appreciate you.
Problem.
All right, we have 3 more people up. I'm going to put you on the spot. We have a Zoom user. I don't know your name, so I can't address you. Nadia, maybe you can correct me, and April. One of you, if you could unmute yourself and go. April, I see you.
Hi, sure, I'll go next. So I have 2 bucket list places I want to go. And so, well, let me start over. So I'm in the DMV area, originally from the Deep South, originally from Alabama. But my 2 bucket list places are definitely India's at the top. Well, I guess I have 3. Japan is at the top, India is there, and then I want to travel to see the Dead Sea in the Egypt area. So those are my 3. And then as far as a must-have that I have to have when I travel with, I have discovered a foot sling. So when you're taking those long international trips, you can like prop your feet up and like stretch out, even if you're in economy. And those help so much when you're sitting on a plane for 24 hours. So yes, a good neck pillow. I think I invested in one of those a few years back, got like a Tempur-Pedic or something, and it compresses into a little bitty ball. It's perfect, but that foot sling is to die for.
Thank you for that intel. I bought one for our most recent trip, but I didn't use it because I got the more legroom seats and so didn't have any place to put it. But I'm very much looking forward to using it on my next flight because I've heard really good things about them.
Yeah, I didn't use it on the last trip either. I had a fun experience on the way there with my seatmate. And then on the way back, I had more leg room, so I didn't need it.
Well, that's probably the bonus too. But thank you for sharing. I love all your bucket list places. All right,
Sure.
2 more people. If you are able to unmute yourselves and share. If not, you are welcome to put it in the group chat. I won't belabor things. Oh, Nadia.
Good
please
morning, everyone.
correct me.
It's
Morning.
Madia Broadway. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Nadia. Thank you for correcting me. Oh, you muted yourself too soon. Nadia, do you
Hold on.
mind sharing where you're calling from and a bucket list place you want to travel and a must-have in your carry-on?
Okay. Yes, I'm calling from North Carolina, and a bucket list travel. Honestly, I'm new to this traveling thing. It's something I wanted to really branch off into, and a friend of mine recommended you guys to me, and I went on the website, and so I'm excited to begin this travel process. I was curious as to what the domestic trips would be because I haven't did anything international yet, but I'm looking forward to it. And a must-have travel for me would be good music. You know, the little road trips I have taken around the United States. You know, I always got to get me a playlist ready before I hit the road. So that's going to be my go-to.
Love that. And I'm I'm not mad at you. There are plenty of places you can travel to domestically. I've traveled less in the US than I have internationally. And so that's like a goal of mine to like make it to all 50 states. And there are some domestic trips coming up. So excited to share those with you in the start of your journey.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Of course. All right, we have a Zoom user whose name I do not know. So if you want to unmute yourself and share, and we also have Meg, if that's how you pronounce your name. If not, no pressure. You can put it in the chat. Oh, calm down.
Hi. Let me wipe off my camera. Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can't see you, which is fine.
Let's see. Can you see me now?
We can see you now.
Hi, my name is Meg, pronoun Meg like the stallion, pronoun she, her. I'm calling in from Los Angeles, is where I live, but I'm originally from the South. I'm from Alabama. Where are you calling? Bucket list. A bucket list place to travel for me would be bucket list. Yesterday, I was like, I want to go to Jamaica. So I'm going to say Jamaica for today. And must have in my carry-on, I'm very big on like fragrances. So any type of travel fragrance, whether that be like a room spray or like perfume I could put on, that would be for me.
Oh, great list. I love the new stuff that's popping up. And I was just looking up Jamaica today.
Yeah.
And I was literally just listening to Megan the Stallion.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 minutes before this on getting hyped up and cooking a late breakfast. That's awesome. Well, welcome to the group and thank you so much for sharing. All right.
Hey, Lisa, I'm gonna interject for a second. Meg, you said you're from Alabama?
Yes, I'm from
What
Alabama. I'm from
part?
Birmingham.
You're
Birmingham.
from Birmingham. I'm from Tuscaloosa.
Oh, nice. Roll Tide. Roll
There you
Tide.
go.
Yes.
I just wanted to throw that in there. I'm sorry, Lisa. I'll give you your
No,
meeting.
don't apologize. I love the organic connections. That's beautiful. All right, Zoom user whose name I don't yet know. If you want to share, you've got 10 seconds to start. Oh, and then Shelly's on. We'll let Shelly potentially share. Shelly, not to alarm you, we were just doing introductions. And because I know you, I'm going to put you on the spot. If you want to share, I just reshared in the group chat what we're sharing, name, where you're calling from, bucket list place you want to travel, and must have in your carry-on. And then we're going to start the presentation on a few of these trips.
You said
Sorry.
what trip I want to travel on, and what were the
Your-
others?
Your name.
Mhm.
I already told people. Where you're calling from.
Okay.
But a bucket list place you want to travel to. Doesn't have to be a place that we're going. I just want to know where people want to go for upcoming travel.
Okay.
And a must have in your carry-on, like something you know that just helps you. People have Angelique has shared that I don't know your pronouns, Angelique, but Angelique has shared that they like to have a pashmina. April, AJR likes a foot swing for the flight. So just something, and I like a neck pillow. So and really good things. Made like smell goods. So what do you like to bring?
I always need lotion everywhere. I go. It's like a safety blanket for me. I don't know, something about being moisturized is important. As Lisa has mentioned, my name is Shelly. I think my bucket list item would be Thailand or Bali. And I'm calling from the DC area, Silver Springs, Maryland specifically. Yeah, looking forward to learning about all the different trips that are coming up.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
thank you. Awesome. Okay. We have an hour left, and I understand people need to go sooner. This is recorded for informational sharing purposes, so after this call, not maybe today, but probably by tomorrow, you will receive a wrap-up email with the link to the video, so you can replay this if you have to hop off or just want to revisit some of the information that we discussed. So I know that some of you, well, all of you registered, thank you for being here. I know some of you like picked all the trips to hear about. We have a limited amount of time, so I want to maximize that and share the trips people are most interested in hearing about. So what I've heard from some of this introductions are a few trips that people are interested in hearing about. And if there are other trips that people want to hear about, feel free to put it in the group chat. I will try my best to get to all of the trips. But so far I've heard Egypt. So I would like to present Egypt. Also, Maria, you shared that you want to hear about the domestic trips, and right now we only have one next year. Could be, we could add to that. I'm always plotting and planning, so you know, I was just talking about the Black Food Truck Festival in South Carolina at the end of April with some friends via text that I just purchased tickets to. It could become a Lesbifriends trip. Right now we only have one domestic trip, so I will share that as well. It's a big summer glamp trip to Pennsylvania with over 60 people. Japan, April, I know that's on your list. Stella, you mentioned Thailand and Bali. I don't have a Thailand presentation because we just went there, but I do have Bali, so I'll share that with you. But Thailand could be another repeat trip. So Egypt, summer glam from River Mountain, Japan, and Bali. If there's any other trips that people really want to hear about, all right, Meg, thank you. Cabo and South Africa. All right, I'm going to talk fast. And I'm a little congested, so just bear with me. And we'll try not to clog things up with my congestion. Yes, and we're going to talk about Egypt. So we're on it. Delilah. Which one is Delilah? Okay, I'm gonna try to go in order from the ways that the trips come up in the calendar year. So that would first make so just so you know, not gonna talk about Brazil or Nicaragua or Colombia or Italy. Those are the first 4 trips that are currently scheduled for the year. There's plenty of information online, and there will be another information session that potentially covers those. So feel free to sign up for a new one, or you can even schedule like a one-on-one with me and I'll answer all of the questions. But for now, Cabo is the first trip. So let me pull up the Cabo presentation. Sorry, bear with me. I have a lot of separate presentations, just because I don't want to belabor things. And then I will share my screen with you. Okay. Okay, bear with me. I'm not super computer advanced, but I do know how to use Canva, which is how I create these presentations. All right, so you should see a screen that says Cabo. And I'm going to go through the overarching, this is going to be the longest presentation, and then we'll just shoot to the specifics on other countries. So this is more than just an information session about Cabo. We're going to talk about other trips as well, but we're going to start with Cabo. Okay, so I'd like to just share a little bit more about the business, company, group, because most of you are first-time potential travelers. Shelly and April, hope you don't mind, I'm sharing, but Shelly and April have recently traveled with Lesbifriends. Yay, thank you for coming back. potentially. So we have repeat travelers, but we have a lot of new travelers and both are equally exciting. But just so you know who you're traveling with, the company, the brand, I like to give a little bit of background. So I started Lesbifriends back in 2010, 11. I can't quite remember. I was just finishing up law school, so things are a blur. And I actually just started like hosting little events in my 1-bedroom apartment at the time because I was creating community and I wasn't that person who necessarily liked to like be out and about or go to a club. I really just liked intimate groups. I'm an introvert by nature. And so I created the space that I wanted to be in by hosting these bi-monthly events in my personal space. And then it expanded about a year later to an annual winter trip / ski trip. Not everybody skis, so sometimes we just go tubing, but it expanded to that and it's just grown over the years. I personally done a lot of traveling individually, also for school. I did semester at sea when I was an undergrad. That was like my first big taste at travel. I got to go to 9 countries in 100 days. And it was on the government's dime because I had a lot of grants and scholarships, yay. And that just kind of was like a teaser, like, ooh, now I want to go back. But I was poor, I was like 19, 20. I didn't have the funds to like really experience the places that I was going to. Not that you have to have a big budget to travel, but it just kind of spurred this desire to travel, curate experiences for myself and for others. And so it's just my two loves, creating community and travel, have meshed together. And so Lesbifriends Travel was born. So I've been to a lot of countries. I'm a type A personality planner. And so just trust that you were in good hands with ensuring potentially your future vacation with me. So I like to also just share some of the things that Lesbifriends Travels likes to incorporate. There are other travel groups and they're great. I've been on some other travel experiences with people and I really enjoyed them. I personally like to give people what I like to get. So these are some of the things that I feel like might set Lesbifriends apart from other travel groups, or just add to a heightened experience. So we are an LGBTQ plus based group. So everybody who comes on trips are queer or queer identified. Even while we identify as this, that's not like the bulk of the trip, right? It's just like a commonality. And it's also just nice to like travel with like-minded people. So I love my best friends. I have 2 straight best friends since grade school. I love them, but when I travel with them, like they want to go to the club and get attention from guys, and I'm just not in the same space. So I like being able to travel with queer people, like not in a romantic sense, just like on a potential friendship sense, because like we might have common interests, similarities, backgrounds, and be seeking the same things. Like the Lesbifriends trips are big on culture, immersion within a country, so you have that personal experience. I do like to highlight that this is a queer group and queer-centered group, so you're going to be with people who hopefully you can find commonality with. And so also besides being queer travelers, I do try to highlight queer things in the countries that we go to. So I'm going to pick a safe space that we can go to and be our authentic selves. But in the process, I do like to educate people. So if it's not customary for 2 same-sex people to be holding hands, or us not to show our skin, I do like to share that as we might travel to a more modest country. So all of this information you will be inundated with in places for future travel. So just so you are aware and educated, because traveling is a lot with all the research, education, and all of that. So that's one. Okay, two. If you are a solo traveler and might want to opt for a roommate situation, one, to save money, but two, to get to know someone a little bit better. We also do roommate matching through a survey. So just trust that you will be safe. And sometimes we rotate roommates, like we did on our last trip to Portugal and Spain. So you might be matched with a few different roommates, and get a bonus. You get like 3 built-in travel buddies. So that's another plus. Just know that you can save a few $100, and get a roommate matching situation, and spend that money on food and souvenirs, or just put it in your pocket. The third thing I like to point out is that we curate, and I say we, I mean, the business is mine, but I do have a team. I have a great assistant and social media manager and website person who all help me put this together, because I am not versed in any of that. But we do curate packing lists per location, so you know what to bring, what to wear. It's very important going into some of these countries that you know that when you go into a temple or a mosque, your shoulders and even your knees might need to be covered. You might even need to wear a particular type of shoe. So I'm going to do all that research for the group ahead of time and let people know. Also, just sometimes you just forget to bring certain things like sunblock, a fan. I actually put on the packing list for our Thailand trip that we just came back from, an umbrella. And part of the reason for an umbrella was the rain, but also was just to shade because it's so hot there. So I'm going to let you know the little tips and tricks that I've picked up and that I've researched over time so you can effortlessly pack. We also have exclusive event and planning, both on the trips and off the trips. So when we can, we like to connect with queer people in a specific location, whether that's at a nightclub or an event. Sometimes there might be like a queer group that I can communicate with ahead of time, and so we can plan like a game night. Sometimes I just like to plan trips for us domestically, events for us domestically to connect before we travel together. So there's an annual get together that is everyone who comes on trips or is scheduled to come on trips is invited to in the DMV area. Maybe we'll do this in other locations in the future, but you can potentially meet the people that you're going to travel with both virtually and in person ahead of time before you take this big, 8 to 10 day international trip with them as well. I'm big on community, so we're going to do pre-trip group chats, as well as information sessions. So when you sign up to come on a trip, you are also going to be scheduled for just the intimate group that you're going with. We're going to do an information session, go over the itinerary, go over packing, all of that jazz. And we're even going to have a group chat before, during, and after the trip, so that those connections can continue to be fostered. And then, of course, there's the travel guide, jam-packed with all the information. I'm sure that everybody cannot read all the things in my anywhere from 15 to 30 page travel guide that I put together per location, but I still like to give that information just in case you want to know places to eat, places to shop, again, cultural norms. Sometimes I include language in there so you can just get a head start in learning on how to say hello and thank you in that culture's language. Okay. All right. Whew. All right, now we can get to the fun stuff. Now that we've gotten the overview out of the way. Cabo, we're going to Cabo, Mexico, which 1 or 2 people mentioned that they were interested in hearing about. In July, I try to be strategic about the dates that I pick, and I work for the federal government as an attorney, and we only have 10 days of vacation or so, with those holidays built in. So I try to make some of the trips scheduled around holidays. So if you're not a big 4th of July celebrator, please join us, or if you are, and you just want to turn up somewhere else, please join us in Cabo. We're gonna have a great time. Actually, this trip is gonna be great. Some of the trips we stay in hotels, some of the trips we stay in villas or boutique-ish accommodations. This is one of the boutique-ish accommodations that we're staying in. This trip overview is fun. We're gonna do some partying. We're gonna do some relaxing. It's water, it's sun, it's sand. It's curated food prepared by local chefs. So you're definitely gonna experience Mexico. I've been to Mexico 10 times, but I can always go back. It's a cheap flight. Okay, so where we're gonna be staying, our accommodations, we're gonna be staying at a private boutique villa. This was actually a hotel, that was turned into, an Airbnb rental or a private, a private rental. And I found it on Airbnb because I had a couple that came to my Virginia trip earlier this year and they couldn't travel for long, but they were like, I want to go, just give me a trip that I can just, a long weekend trip. So I sought out Cabo because they mentioned it. I listened to the people and I found this beautiful accommodations. All of that I believe there are 9 bedrooms in this accommodation. They all have their own bathroom. Most of them have a single bed. So if you do opt to come on this trip as a solo traveler, you'll either have to get your own room if you don't want to share a bed, or you will have to be open to sharing a bed or in saving a little bit of money. I've never had any issues with people sharing beds, but I get that could be a thing for some people. I'm 41 years old. I don't know that I want to share a bed with a stranger, so I will be sleeping alone and getting my own room too. But by all means, you do save some money if you can handle that. But anyway, beautiful accommodations. These are pictures. They're stunning. I believe I have the link to the accommodations on the website, or if you're just interested in where we're staying, feel free to message me and I will send you the link. But it's in a great area, close to things. But when you get on the trip, once you arrive, you don't have to worry about anything. The itinerary is set, all breakfast and some meals are also included in the trip. So you really just have to book your flight to Mexico, and we'll take care of it from there. So this is the itinerary, as well as the overview. Again, just book your flight. We'll pick you up from the airport. We have a social happy hour when you arrive. For those people who don't drink alcohol, mocktails will be on deck. There will be a personal Lesbifriends mixologist who is attending the trip to make this a fun-filled trip for all. And then we will have an on-site signature dinner. Part of the appeal of this accommodation was there's a restaurant underneath that also is part of it. So they will be providing our breakfast and they will be curating some of the on-site dinners that we have in this beautiful villa that also has an amazing pool that you hopefully saw in the last picture. So we're going to be doing some adventure stuff like zip lining. We're going to do some nightlife stuff as well. We're going to go, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm fancy when I'm on a boat. So we're even going to go on a yacht and do a boat party during the day as well. It's a 5-day trip, so unfortunately it does have to end, but we're gonna do some cultural immersion during the trip as well. So we'll have an Afro cooking class before we leave, beachfront farewell dinner as well. There's a lot of good stuff, but there's also some built-in free time. So if you want to sneak away to the beach, or just, take the morning to do a leisurely stroll, you're welcome to as well. Okay. This page, I'm going to just go through very quickly. I do include it on all of my trips, but I don't need to repeat it. So this is an overview, what's included, what's not included. On most, if not all trips, airport pickup and drop off is included. This particular trip is 5 days, 4 nights, so you get accommodations. All breakfasts are usually included on all trips, and some dinners and lunches. On this trip, just 2 dinners are included. Of course, your transportation, you get to Mexico on all activities is included. And then I've just listed the activities that are including as well. Unfortunately, we can't do zip lining, UTV, and off-roading, so you'll have to pick one of those. But there will be some activity time and some downtime as well. I do like to brag about the swag bag that I include, that I try to curate per destination. Again, the travel guide, and you will get an on-ground team to ensure you have an amazing time. We're not just sending you into the wild to do your own thing. I will be on this trip, and there will be other Lesbifriends, curators to help, make this trip great. You just have to take care of your transportation, travel insurance, which I always recommend. Sometimes it's included in when you have a certain credit card, so you don't have to pay for it separately. But as someone who has been out on several thousands of dollars because they could make a trip, I always like to tell people to get travel insurance. It's $200 extra or so. It's a worthwhile investment. You have to have that to come on this trip. Will I check for it? I don't know. But should you have it? Yes. Any meals not mentioned are on you, but again, there's a restaurant right underneath, and street tacos are like $1. So, I will be going ham on those. And then anything else you want to do on your own is also up to you, as well as tips and gratuity. And I also put that in the travel guide, suggested tips, so you know. Okay, the cost, which is important. So room options, if you choose a double occupancy, there are like 1 or 2 rooms with double occupancy. There's not a lot. Not double occupancy, 2 beds in the room. There's not a lot. It's either $18.50 for a shared bed or $19.50 for 2 separate beds. You will know what's left by going to the website and looking to book. Just ask me and I can look that up. But the website is updated in real time, so that's on point. If you want to splurge on a room by yourself, by all means, I will be doing the same. And that's a little bit more. So these are your options. When you sign up for any Lesbifriends trip, you're automatically enrolled in the monthly payment plan. If that doesn't work for you, just communicate with me. I'm super flexible. I've already paid this deposit, so I'm going for this Airbnb, so I'm going on this trip, whether you join me or not. We're going. But I want to just work with people's needs. So if you want a weekly payment plan, bi-weekly or quarterly, whatever, this trip is enough in advance, so we can set that up. I've even had people tell me, my trip payment's coming up on Friday. Can I pay it in 2 weeks? Absolutely. Stuff happens. Just communicate with me, because I'm trying to be a business person, but I'm also a human, so I know I just need to be informed so I can work with you. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and breathe for a second. Sorry, all this needless. Are there any specific questions about Cabo?
Lisa, I saw, and you did say this, you do double occupancy as 1 bed, but on the slide it said 1 or 2 beds. Is the or meaning whatever that Airbnb happens to have in that room?
Yes. So I believe there's 2 rooms with 2 beds each. And so those are listed on the website. Once those are sold out, they will not be offered. And so I put
Okay.
$18.50 plus for double occupancy, because double occupancy with 1 bed, is $18.50. Double occupancy with 2 beds is $19.50.
Got it.
So once those rooms are sold out with the 2 beds each, they will not be offered on the website anymore.
Okay.
So, and they're still available right now, but thank you for that question, RC. Great question. Welcome back, RC. I'm excited to have you. Great. Yes.
Lisa, if I have a question, if you're traveling with someone, do each of you add the I was on the website and I was adding it to the cart and all that good stuff. Do each person have their own cart, or do that one cart, is that cover 2 people, or how does that go?
Great question. So all the trips are per person. All the prices that you see are per person.
Okay, got you.
And so if you wanted to book with someone else, like if you had a really close friend and you wanted to reserve their room, like under your email and name, you can. You'll have to register for each of you separately, but you can manage that reservation for the two of you. You can also book separately. So you can sign up for a trip and they can sign up for a trip, and there, when you do register, there is a place that you can put your room in.
Okay, got it.
So I will know to, excuse me, to pair you up with a particular person.
Okay, all right.
Also, would you like to mention this trip incentive or this referral program incentive I had? I feel like the best promotion, if you will, marketing comes from word of mouth. And most people have heard about Lesbifriends from other people who have been or seen it online. So if you do refer someone who comes on a trip, even on the trip that you sign up with them on and they've never been on a trip, like for RC, if I'd be like, RC is coming on this trip. RC's been on a trip, so I'm not gonna get a referral bonus for having them come on a new trip. But if RC refers someone brand new on a trip, they can get a referral bonus, anywhere from $150 off. So invite your friend. Any other questions about Cabo? Okay, I will, because time is limited, I'm gonna go to Bali, which I'm excited to share.
Yay! I posted on my meetup page for my group, so hopefully I'll bring like 6 people, probably end up being 4, but
Aw, thanks, RC. So this is a great introduction as well, because I do like to mention this at some point during a trip, excuse me, an information section, but I have built out, or I'm in the process of building out a trip leader program. Not last year, not this year, but last year, I've been doing this for a while, you know, like just as a hobby, right? So a couple years ago, I was like, let's make this into a business. Because I'm an attorney and I need to like do things the right way legally. So last year, we went on 2 international trips. This year, I think we're up to 5. And next year, hopefully, we will be on 12 international trips. And so I have a full-time government job. I don't have that many vacation days. While I love going on all the trips, I realize that I can't physically be there, and there are amazing people who come on the trips, and the people who come on the trips truly make the trip. So I decided to develop this trip leader program, and RC has been on 2 trips so far, and I have invited them to be a trip leader because they're amazing and they just have great energy and people love them. So anyway, we are starting a trip leader program actually next week because I have a person who's going to be going on a Belize trip. I'm going on that trip too, but just as a participant. But for future trips, there will be opportunities to go on I can't say free because you got to pay to get there, but you don't got to pay for the trip. So that might change. But anyway, I have a trip leader program. RC is the first official trip leader that I'm not going on the trip. I trust them immensely. They're amazing people. And they went to Bali and they want to go back. So that just should show you how amazing Bali is, because that's a $2,000 flight for most people. But I'm excited about this Bali trip, our 2nd year in a row, not only because RC will be going on it, which will be amazing to have you back, but also because we're gonna like do this at an elevated experience. Bali was great last year, or this year. We just went this year, sorry, in June. But having gone for the first time, I've made it even better for the next round. Okay, so next year, we're going back to Bali. We've had a few people sign up for this trip already. This year it was a 10-person trip. I imagine it'll be around the same amount of people who come on the trip this year. We kind of do small group trips. we went to South Africa with 20 people. That was a lot. We're going to River Mountain, our domestic trip with 60. That would be amazing, but that's a different type of trip. So 10 people is like our happy medium, and RC is going to be our trip leader, and you're in great hands with them. So we're going to Bali. Everybody can see the screen. I'll go more quickly now that I've shared that. So learning lessons. Stayed in a beautiful place in Bali this year. It was great, but it was kind of a little bit of ways from like the walkable area where you could just like go out of the hotel or the resort and just be in the mix of things. So now we're going to be in the mix of things. We're staying in a luxury, resort, literally steps away from the Ubud Palace, which is like the central area in this area in Ubud where a lot of travelers go. But when you're in the resort, it's like nobody else is there. Like it's picturesque, it's serene, you can't hear stuff on the street. But then if you want, you know, the hustle and bustle and be able to like walk and not pay $10 for a massage instead of $20 for a massage, because at the hotel it's a little bit more. You can just walk out of the hotel and go down the street and go shopping, all that jazz. So really nice location that we're staying in Ubud. These are pictures from it. I do share hotels and locations with people, by the way, where we're staying, if anyone asks. Sometimes, just so you know, I don't book in advance just because I don't know the number of people, and certain places have a very strict cancellation policy. But I'm willing to, and then things change, but I'm definitely willing to share like the 2-3 places that I have picked out, the top place, if people are interested in knowing that. But trust, I'm betting all of these places, and this is a luxury 5-star trip, so I'm picking very, very nice hotels. We're gonna switch things up when we get to the second half of our trip, and we say Seminyak, and we're gonna actually stay in a villa, because while it's nice to have the amenities of a hotel, this is a group and community trip. So I also want people to be around each other. So while we're on the beach, the second half of our trip, sorry, I'm so broken. We're gonna actually have our own butler service, in-house chef, common area that we can convene together, and be walking distance from the beach when we're on the second part of our trip. Another very beautiful location as well. Overview of the trip. We're going to do a lot of cultural exploration. We're going to visit temples. All right, that was me. This is actually a video from our trip earlier this year. We did a purification. Oh, okay, all the videos, sorry. We did a purification ceremony. We actually had a welcome dance as well. I didn't realize there were sounds with the videos, my apologies. And we went to see the monkeys. So these are some of the things that were a hit on the trip, per the survey and just people's verbal feedback. So we're gonna do some of these things again, but we've also mixed it up and added new things as well. I've also learned that while I do, this is from we did a e-bike exploration day. That was interesting. I don't know about you, but I haven't ridden a bike in a mile, so even though it was electric, it was hard. Okay, so I've learned some things as well. I over-planned this trip last time. We had something to do every day, like starting at 7 a.m. So this time I've built in some free time, and I've given some optional things for people to add on if they want to. But also, when you get to Bali, you can just figure it out. I promise it's not hard. But there will also be suggestions for people, again, in that travel guide. We're going to also return to fun with the elephants in the mud. I don't know if you want to speak to that, RC, but that's an experience.
That is an experience. I think it's definitely yeah. It was fun. I didn't put my whole body in there like everybody else did. I'm not rolling around in there, but it was a lot of fun. Get to feed the elephants and wash them.
Okay, thank you. And April also did an elephant experience in Thailand, which was a little bit different than mud, but equally immersive. April, do you want to share any?
I think the elephants were amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like the elephants, even, I mean, we got to see the baby elephants and the adult elephants. At one time, I think Lisa and I got sprayed by the elephants. And it was fantastic. I kid you not. I would do it again multiple times. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I would have gotten in all way and, rolled around in the mud.
April wanted to be in the mud, I see.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys will meet one day and April, you can convince RC to roll
Oh no,
around
I'll
in the
take the
mud.
pictures. I was feeding the elephants. I had so much fun feeding them.
And then another commonality in amongst these Bali and Thailand trips that we both just experienced are a cooking class. I feel like that is definitely like something I want to include on most, if not all, trips because people really bond, and it's a really great way to like learn about the culture, but also yourself, right? And just experience good food. So in Bali, we had a really fun cooking class. They even gave us aprons to go home with. In our Thailand trip with April that I just came back from, actually someone on the trip wanted to buy the apron, even though it wasn't for sale. But cooking classes are definitely, even if whether you travel with Lesbifriends or not, do a cooking class in a country that you visit or a city if you can, and domestically. Those are, you learn so much and it's a lot of fun. All right, we're gonna skip this because I already shared. You already kind of know this overview, what's included, what's not, everything I've shared. The cost. While this is a luxury trip, it's still very affordable because it's Bali. You're gonna spend a lot of money getting there, but when you get there, it's gonna be a lot cheaper to enjoy yourself. This double occupancy room starts at 3,200. This is 2 beds and 2 people in the room. And this is the price per person. And then if you want to splurge and ball out and do your own room, you can spend a little bit more with $4,300. Any questions about Bali?
Is there
Okay.
anybody on this call planning to go to Bali? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I definitely want to go.
Okay.
I do have a question. On the website, it says that you have to have your passport for at least 6 months. Is that correct, Lisa?
Yes and no. Well, no. Your passport needs to be valid for 6 months post travel. So if you're going on a trip in June, your passport expiration date needs to be in December of that year.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
you can get your passport the month before. I don't recommend that. Because I potentially might need that information. Certain places I might be booking flights, like Japan, we're going to fly different places. And as well as Colombia. But so get your passport, start the process sooner than later, but it needs to be valid for at least 6 months post travel.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. All right.
Great question.
Yeah,
They don't read the website. I guess like some people do that.
yeah. I've been on the website probably for about a week, and I was reading through some things because, as I told you, I'm a novice to this whole traveling thing. So, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get my passport here in December, and I wanted to make sure I was gonna have it in time. So that's perfect. Thank you.
Yes, that is plenty of time. I mean, you can even get it like a couple months in advance. I just, with the way that things go in the government, I don't recommend
I
waiting.
don't recommend. I work for Passport and I work for corporate Passport. we have an administrative change coming up soon, so just think about that. Keep that in mind as you guys are renewing passports.
Okay. And do you think
Thank
this?
you, April.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
I said, thank you, April, all the intel.
I mean, there's so much I want to say, but I'm just saying, keep that in mind. And with the whole passport process, applying for a passport, a regular passport, and applying for an expedited process, an expedited passport goes through two different processes. I always recommend to pay the extra $60 and get an expedited passport. I can't go into reasons why, but thank me later. Those $60 are worth it.
All right. Thank you, April.
Huh? Lisa, I see your umbrella.
I have a
Oh,
question. I have a question for April.
Show and tell. I'll do this later on another info call, but we don't have time. We got too many trips to go. I paid to get this painted in Thailand. But April painted her own. So hers is even better, but it was so cool. We did an umbrella painting activity. That probably cost me like $3. Anyway.
I have a question for April because I just submitted my passport last Friday.
Did you go to an acceptance facility or did you mail it in? Well, first, what kind of passport was it? Was it a renewal or was it a new passport?
It's a renewal passport and I did it online.
Okay, so you use the ODR, the online, you're fine. Because
Right.
that's part of the modernization project. And so
Oh.
they're in a separate department and they move differently. You are
They
fine
moved
with that.
very quickly because as far as I think they approved it in one day and the next day they was processing my book.
That processing doesn't mean anything, but you did an online application
Right.
and that is for you, that is amazing, right? Everybody doesn't have that option. So
Okay.
they are making some modernizations. And that is the first modernization effort that they've made. So you're good on that.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Mhm. And that can be regular. That doesn't have to be expedited, but for new ones, expedite those.
Oh, okay.
April, you're so amazing. I didn't even do you think of it. Okay, sorry. I'm back. Any other questions for me or April? All right, we'll keep going then. I actually did go a little bit out of order. I did Cabo before Bali. Bali's actually before Cabo. But it doesn't matter. Just make note of the dates of the trip that you want to go on. All right. We are also doing, so our one domestic trip so far that we have planned next year, I do want to add some others. So they might be coming up, but this one is definitely happening, guys, because the resort is already booked and we are locked in. Funny story. I actually initially planned this trip to be over MLK weekend. I had a few people sign up with that initial launch date. And then our vice president announced that she was running for the presidency. And so I was like, we got to show up for her. She's going to win. Unfortunately, it's not the case. But anyway, I'm still glad that we pushed this back to a summer trip because I feel like even while glamping would be amazing in the winter, I feel like there's so much more that we can utilize the space for during the summer months. So we are heading to River Mountain which is in Pennsylvania, about 2 hours from DC, Philadelphia, the Baltimore area. I think it's 4 hours from New York City, or maybe 3 hours from New York City. But just very accessible, in the DMV area, in the Northeast area as well. Those coming from a little bit further, an easy flight, away, and just a beautiful space to experience. So we're going here at the end of July for a 3-night, 4-day, weekend. I've been doing, my annual winter trip, again, for over 10 years. I transitioned to a summer trip before I went to an international trip. So this is kind of like summer vibes, but still with like the rustic cabin feel, but an elevated feel, if you will, because we're not just staying in a camp cabin and roughing it. We are, it's luxurious. All the amenities, all of the activities, as well as the food. You will definitely experience luxury. I'm not a very outdoorsy person, even though I like to do the adventure stuff here and there. So this is good for people who might be similar to me, like you want to be indoors, not with all the bugs, but you need to eat well. You're not trying to cook on the campfire, and you just want to be around a lot of dope people. There will be a lot of dope people here. So where we're staying, I actually went here at the beginning of the year on a yoga retreat. There were 4 people on this retreat, including the person who's leading it. I probably was looking for, this is why I was supposed to be on the retreat, to find out about this place. I don't know that we did that much yoga. It was super zen, but I feel like, everything happens for a reason. I was supposed to find out about River Mountain because I wanted to share it. And we are about a quarter of the way full, so there's still time to book. There's over 60 people that are coming on this trip, putting that in the universe. And again, we're a quarter of the way full, so this is going to be a really great, long, fun-filled weekend. Just so you know what to expect. We are going to, so this is like summer camp for adults. Think summer camp for adults, what you would want to experience as a kid, but in your adult form. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do an orientation when people arrive, get them acclimated to this beautiful space we are renting out the complete space. So it'll just be 60 to 80 queer Black people, Black and brown people, mostly Black, people in this space, for 4 days. We're going to do campfires and storytelling. We're going to have some wellness activities like yoga and meditation. We're going to be one with nature and do a nature walk. We're also going to do some really fun workshops, whether they be creative, or things to get to know one another. All of the meals in this trip, this is a unique trip for Lesbifriends because all of the meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, to your dietary preferences are included. They cook gourmet farm to table food here, guys. When I say their food is probably why I'm going back. Trust that it'll be worth it just for what you're gonna get to eat. There's also a social happy hour, which includes wine, beer, and mocktails that is included every day of the trip. And we're gonna do some fun stuff like a dance party as well. The last 2 days, we're gonna have like a field day, if you will. The video that you see below is actually from our Virginia trip that we did earlier this year. We had a field day. That was super fun. You will definitely see how competitive people can get during a field day. And some more great workshops, outdoor skills, queer empowerment, I just know good people, like, energy attracts. So I know amazing people. I'm trying to get RC to lead a workshop or 2.
Yeah, I definitely will. I just sent you a message. Okay. Yep.
Okay, I'll look at it later, sorry. But yeah, so if you have a skill, talent you want to share, believe me, you could be a part of the workshop leading team too. Or I'm also offering discounted admission for people who want to volunteer, do registration and stuff like that. This is really a community event. I want all the people who can be there, whether they can afford it or not. So I'm willing to work with people. Especially if you're willing to learn. So you already know from the first, from Cabo, everything I've mentioned is already included. All the activities, all the workshops, all the meals on this specific trip. You just gotta get yourself there, and we won't be leaving the site, so there's really no transportation that you need except getting home. If you want to come on this trip, single occupancy starts at $850. And double, yes, and so that's for a pod. They have pods there. There are pictures on the website, but I also linked the River Mountain website, so you can go on their website and see pictures directly. But there are plenty of pictures so you understand what a pod looks like. It's basically a room for yourself. It's a sleeping room for yourself with space to spread out, as well as a locker that you can lock up your things. I've never had an issue on a trip though. People are, again, energy attracts, so good people. People are honest and good on these trips. For the most part, I haven't had really bad experiences. So that's for a pod. We also, the 2 single occupancy just depends if you want a queen bed or if you want a single bed. Then we also have yurts, which are a little bit more privacy. A yurt's a big rounded tent. It's insulated, so it's super warm, and you also get your own bathroom if you're in a yurt. So that's kind of a benefit to a yurt, and then a little bit more. And then there's also tents, which are similar structures to the yurt, and similar style. So yeah, there's that. And I will stop sharing my screen for a moment just to see if there are any questions about the glamping experience. Okay. I welcome no questions just because that means I'm doing my job right, hopefully. All right, we have Egypt, Japan, and South Africa left. So
Hey, Lisa, I'm sorry, I have a question for you.
No apologies needed. What's up?
Have you considered going back to doing the ski trips?
I have. There might be a Deep Creek pop-up.
Okay.
I got like 2 seconds to plan it, but you might see that. If so, it'll probably be President's Day weekend. And it'll probably be like you have to pay in full.
Are those in PA?
Oh, sorry. Deep Creek is in Maryland, about 3.5 hours away from DC.
Okay.
That could happen. It could happen.
I used to go skiing in PA. I didn't know about this one here in Maryland. So,
Well, by all means, they will share with me your PA. I can look into that. I've done like 7 trips to Deep Creek, so it's just like
no. I'm just saying I didn't know that Maryland offered anything like that.
Oh yeah, Maryland and Virginia. I've been winter trips there too. It's just a long weekend. It's kind of like not no frills, but you do a lot of activities in the house. People ski if they want to get out of the house.
So yours is sounding better than mine anyway. Mine was always a day trip. Drive up and then drive back.
Oh yeah, we're usually there 3 nights. And it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
So. Okay, sorry, I'm pulling up, thank you, great question. I'm pulling up Egypt because that's our next trip, and I will, I know I'm a little long-winded, so I'll try to be as concise as possible. As I share Egypt, Japan, and South Africa. I'm excited about all these places. Okay, presenting my full screen. Sorry, I have two screens, so if I'm not looking at you, that is why. Egypt and Jordan. Okay, I'm very excited. So some of the trips I've planned, I've actually been to the locations, and some I've never been to. I've been to both Egypt and Jordan, and I'm so excited to have this trip because Jordan was, out of the 55 countries I've been to, Jordan is probably top. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it's really a great place. Okay, so we're doing two countries. I've never done two countries in one trip except Portugal and Spain. And so, which are relatively close, and that was a quick flight, but I'm especially excited to do it in Africa because, you know, that's the motherland. So we're going to, and we're doing an elevated, experience in both of these countries in September. So first, we're starting on Egypt. So like, Egypt is great, but I feel like you have to end on the best. We're gonna say Jordan, what's my best. So we're gonna start in Egypt, which is thankfully is great. And we're gonna stay at some really nice accommodations. The Royal Great Pyramid Inn. This is the actual hotel. It's already been booked. That we're staying at in Egypt. Very picturesque. You can literally see the pyramids from your window. So how cool is that? And we're gonna be there with the pyramids. Our next stop is we're going to Jordan. So we're spending half of the time in both places. Our next stop, we're going to Petra. Petra, I think, is one of like the 10 wonders of the world, natural wonders of the world. So it's like a must place see, the sacred city of Petra. And we're gonna say in the city and in Petra Canyon, which is another very nice, modern, but also culturally, I think it's nice to stay in like modern places, but I also don't want to forget like the significance of the culture where we visit. So this is a very nice, like elevated accommodation, but it's very culturally relevant to Jordan where we're staying. So we have the modern touches, the cultural touches in each of these places. And then last but not least, we're gonna be glamping, just for one night. This was one of my best experiences in Jordan. So I graduated from law school in 2010, and I decided to treat my poor self to a trip to Egypt, Jordan, and Israel. And I camped out one night in the desert. So cool. Like 14 years ago, I felt like I was living my best life. And I just want other people to experience that. The desert is actually cold, so you will need to bring layers, but again, all that will be in the travel guide. But just another really cool, unique accommodation. Like, who can say they slept in the desert? You can if you come to the trip. Okay, I lied. There's one more accommodation. This is just so we can get back to the place where we will be departing from. There is a lot of movement on this trip, but it will be well worth it. So we can experience all of Egypt and Jordan as well. Another very nice modern hotel that will round out our experience here. All right, let's get into the trip. So we're gonna see pyramids. We're gonna eat amazing food. We're gonna see some of the world's it's 7 wonders, not 10 wonders. I'm sorry, I can't count. We're gonna see some of the world's wonders. Oh, they have remade that list, so there might be more than 7, depending on what list. Anyway, this is you're gonna experience history, culture, and some adventure all on this trip. So I haven't really gone into the day-to-day itinerary for time's sake. But one thing I do like to do on most trips, if not all, is we do like a meet and greet, and we get to meet, in addition to meeting each other, we get to set trip intentions. I think that's important to learn about one another. You don't have to necessarily share your trip intention, but it's just nice to like ground ourselves and sometimes share why we're all on this trip together. So that's kind of like the Lesbifriends thing that I like to do. Our first night we'll have our signature welcome dinner. Our second night, there will be a dinner cruise that you can add on if you aren't too tired from our half-day tour of the pyramids and the Sphinx. We're going to do some more cultural things by going to museums as well as major historic sites as well as markets. Like, who doesn't want to go to a market and have some built-in shopping time? There will be a leisure day on this trip, but with optional things that I've vetted and I think might be good things to add on, like a cooking class. I don't know if Egyptian food is my jam, but I've never made it before, so I might want to cook it and have that experience. Day 5 will be a travel day and a kind of a day to rest and just explore and chill. And then day 6, we'll do some more exploring with a tour of Rose City, which is a very historic place in Jordan for all to experience. Really cool stuff. We're going to be doing a Jeep ride in the desert. For those who want to brave and get on a camel, you can experience that. Before we get to our glamping desert accommodations for the one night. We'll also visit the Dead Sea Beach. How cool is that? Before we have to do a farewell dinner and head to the city to be a little bit closer to the airport. So if you want to come to Egypt and Jordan with us, again, I'm skipping that so you guys know. All the things I mentioned are included. Just got to get yourself there. And we got you when you arrive in Egypt until you depart from Jordan. If you want to come on this experience, travel experience, you would pay $2,800 for double occupancy and $3,600 for single occupancy. I'm going to stop sharing just for a moment. I know people have to hop off. I appreciate you sharing it in the chat. If you do, sorry, I am not looking at the chat while I'm presenting, so I might not be able to acknowledge if you do hop off the call, but know that you're missed. Any questions about Egypt and Jordan?
Yeah, Lisa, what is your recommendation for like a airline to Egypt? Is there a particular one that anyone has traveled before that says, hey, this is good accommodations?
I mean, I have my go-to airlines that I like, but I don't know that they travel everywhere, right? So I've had a great experience with Qatar and Emirates. They might travel through Egypt,
Okay.
but in full disclosure, I do offer one-on-one flight chats, if you will.
Okay.
I actually did one with RC before. I've done them with a few people. I've even booked people's flights before for certain trips. I'm not offering that necessarily, but I'm definitely willing to lend a hand and where it's needed to help people with the flight booking. I realize that can be daunting, and it's just it's a big task, especially because sometimes like you're leaving on a Thursday and you're not getting somewhere till a Saturday. So I want to, if after you book a trip, or even before you book a trip, if you just want to have a, schedule like 30 minutes, we can do like a virtual video session, and I'll show you how I look for flights and how I book flights. I typically start on Google Flights, and then I book directly through that airline, because Google Flights is like a Kayak or an Expedia. Just to do my searches. But then I will go directly to that airline to do the booking, because if you do book with an Expedia or a third party, then if you need to make changes, that's like one more hoop to jump through. So honestly, I just register for whatever airline so I can have direct contact with that airline.
Makes sense.
Makes things easier. It's probably the same rate, but also if you ever fly with them again, you probably will get rewards. And I like a lot of rewards. But we can schedule that if you're interested in chatting about that. I have no brand allegiance, honestly. Like,
Mhm.
I just want points on my credit card. I have the Delta, the Southwest, the American Airlines, and the United credit card. But if
Okay.
I get a cheaper flight with someone else that fits my schedule better, I'll go with that flight.
Okay.
Yes, I'll definitely book some time with you because I was thinking about, like flights and even the tiers of different flights or classes, which will be best. So I'm going to set some time with you to talk about that.
It's a learning process for me too. I've actually only flown first class once, and that was like a free upgrade, like a very short flight. But I know people who like swear by business class and first class and who are willing to pay that price. I'm always for the most economical, but
Yeah.
I love talking travel just because it's a learning opportunity for me too. So I welcome all the conversations offline about that.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for the question. Okay, any other questions about that or in general? That trip or in general? All right, we're gonna go over a little, guys. If you have time, please stay on. If not, you feel free to hop off and you will be emailed a link to this presentation to revisit at your leisure or share with a friend who might be able to talk into going on this trip with you. Okay, so many people are excited about Japan. I think that you should be. It's a great place to go. I went there 20 years ago with my semester at sea travel experience. I was 19 or 20 and broke. This was the last country we went to on our 9-trip travel. For those who joined later, I went to semester at sea when I was in undergrad, went to 9 countries in 100 days. Best experience. Took courses on a ship. It fueled introduced me to travel, and now this is why I can't stop. But I was poor and broke, and I traveled on a budget, which is why I try to make things cost effective these days. Japan was the only non-developing country that I went to, and I was poor. I didn't have money to do anything when I got to Japan. So I'm hoping to write that this time around as a 41-year-old who has a little bit of coins to spend and really get the most out of this Japan experience. So there are so many amazing places to go in Japan. I couldn't pick one, so I picked 3. So we're going to Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka in October for a pretty amazing jam-packed experience. Japan is so cool. The first place we're staying, the Shibuya Hotel in Tokyo. There, as you can imagine, Japan is super modern. Skyscrapers, tall buildings. We could stay at like a Marriott or a Hyatt, but I want to give people that very personalized experience. And so I've opted for this boutique style hotel in Tokyo. So this is a great way to start our trip. Second place we're going is to Kyoto. All the places are a little bit unique. You'll definitely notice the different architecture of each of these cities. As you can see by the middle picture, we'll dine in hotel, we'll be sitting on the floor, but of course have the option of pillows. So again, so excited about these accommodations. Super cool. I mean, Japan's just cool, right? Who doesn't want to go to Japan? And there's also just a lot of history and culture, but again, super modern, advanced place to go. So very excited about that. And then we'll round out our trip in Osaka. And I did go to Osaka. That's the actual place that I went to when I traveled to Japan. We will experience a lot of culture here. I remember going to the not Pearl Harbor, but was it the World War II? Oh, sorry, I'm so old and forgetful, but went to a museum. All right, sorry, yeah, clearly history was not my thing in school. Don't judge me. So when the US bombed, I think it was Pearl Harbor. Okay, anyway, there's a museum in Japan dedicated to the US's attack, which is so friggin' sad. And so as a 20-year-old going there and like seeing Japan's perspective of what the United States inflicted on them, like I was just bawling the whole time. So Osaka has a lot of history and culture. And I mean, I don't want to make anybody cry, but it's also just really good to just see history, like as other people perceive it. And clearly the US doesn't teach it to you how I'm sure it should be taught. So I'm excited for everybody to just experience and witness that with their relatives. So that's one of the reasons we're going to Osaka as well. So we're going to have an 8-day journey in Japan in 3 vibrant cities. Again, just get yourself there and I will take care of the rest. The day one, I try not to plan too much on the day people arrive because we're going to Japan. It's a lot of flights, a lot of travel, a lot of air time. But after people get settled in, we will have time to explore as well as have a welcome dinner and meet the group. But taking it easy and getting settled the first day after such a long time of travel. Our next day we'll do a tour, we'll experience some art and some culture, as well as go on a private river cruise as well. Day 3, flowers are big, as is all foliage in general in Japan and gardens. That might not be something that people know about, but the Imperial Paris is definitely a place that people should experience. Their gardens are breathtaking, so that's one of the reasons I picked that too, as one of the featured tours on the trip. And then again, it's just so great to immerse yourself in a local market. So we'll be experiencing their outer fish market as well. Again, breakfast is included on each day. It's usually like a full spread at the hotel. So a lot of options. We'll get to ride a bullet train to Kyoto. I've never been on a bullet train. Super excited about that. We'll get to experience a food market this time around. And we'll get to embark on a sacred tea ceremony, as well as visiting museums. So lots of cultural, artistic things we'll get to experience. Some temples, some historic sites on day 5. Before we move to Osaka, our last destination on day 6, and do a cooking class. I don't know about you, but I love sushi and I would like to know how to make it because it's expensive. And if I could save myself $20 a roll, even better. Get some free time in Osaka. I will recommend all the museums and great places to go to in free time. People might use this day for themselves, or they might also just opt to spend that time with someone that they met on the trip as well. It's up to you. Before we say our goodbyes and move out on the last day. Again, you know the deal. This is all the things that are included, all the breakfasts, some lunches and dinners, transportation, all the activities listed on the itinerary, but also some free time. So it's not overwhelming. And then if you are interested in going to Japan, a double occupancy option is 3,200. A single occupancy is 4,300. With flexible payment plans. Fortunately, this trip is not till October, so if you sign up sooner than later, then you have plenty of time to make those lower cost monthly payments. All right, just going to pause just to see if there are any questions before we go to our last but not least trip. By the way, RC, I see your private messages. I'm not good at multitasking, so. I'll
No,
let
I
it
know
go
I'm putting them there
on.
so you can read them later.
Okay, I typically
Or should I just email you instead of dropping them here? What's easier for you?
copy and paste them to and probably respond.
Okay.
Okay, no questions about Japan. I believe there are 2 people signed up for the Japan vote so far, so plenty of time. I think this will be a smaller trip too, though there has been a lot of interest. There were like 20 people on the interest list. So it could be a bigger trip. And if this is a bigger trip and I do the trip leader program for this, I can go myself, but also I cannot. Then there will most likely be 2 trip leaders. Japan. If it's as if there's up to 15 people as could well be. Okay, last but not least, we will talk about South Africa a bit. This is another, I hate to call it a repeat trip because even though we did go to South Africa earlier this year and it was an amazing trip, this is very much a different experience than the initial one that we had. Both equally is great, but this is just different. So we previously went in April to 20 people to Johannesburg and Cape Town. Cape Town is great, very modern, similar to the US. I think people enjoyed it because of the similarity to the US. However, I realize there's a lot more to see in South Africa, and it's still a very exciting, popular destination. And I kind of want to show people something different than what they've already experienced. So I decided to switch our next trip to South Africa up. And we're still going to be experiencing all the culture and art and history and even the grit of Johannesburg, but we will also get some luxury built in with beachfront accommodations in different parts of South Africa as well. And there is a safari also built into this trip for people who want to be with the animals. So this is a unique trip as well because we are traveling over New Year's. So for those of you who aren't super traditional like myself, you can give or take spending with family. Join us in South Africa where you can get your fill and meet new potential lifelong friends on this New Year's experience. So the first place we will be staying in is Johannesburg, and we'll be at a luxury boutique hotel. Joburg, there's so much history and culture here. So we're gonna be doing all the tours, eating really good food and meeting locals. I've kept in touch with people that we've met there. It's really beautiful. But we're gonna be staying in really elevated accommodations. Last time we stayed in Joburg, they were very nice accommodations, but they were kind of like granola, not glamping per se, because it was still a resort, but this place is much more accessible. I've heard the people and I'm delivering what they wanted. So next we'll be staying at the Safari Lodge in an actual gaming park with wildlife. So it's safe, I can assure you that, but just a different type of stay, right? Like we get the eco luxury accommodations as well as the safari experiences all built into one. So really excited about this space as well. And then last but not least, I don't know that people think about the beach when they go to South Africa, but it is a coastal country. And so I figure we should take advantage and hang out at the beach. It's a great time of year, so we'll get a good amount of sun. This place is again, very luxurious, 5-star accommodations, and a perfect way to start your year. After running around and experiencing culture and history, now we can relax and rest before we go home. So this is a day by day. I love when I can have pictures from actual trips. That's you guys right there. And this is the group that went to Cape Town, and Joburg. It was a great group. I'm sure the next group will be equally as amazing. So these are the things that we're going to be doing. We're going to do a guided tour and explore Siboto when we arrive, but it won't be too much, because even though we're not going to Asia, it takes a good amount of time to get to Africa as well. People really like the Apartheid Museum and learning about the history of Joburg. So we're going to keep that. And we also might add a township visit because it was really nice to be able to see the local people and give back to them while they opened up their homes to let us in and see what they experience day to day. We're day 3 because we're moving and shaking. We do have to move to our safari lodge. So we're going to take a quick flight over to Richards Bay and get ready for our game drive experience. When we get there, we will have a day to explore the gaming lodge, as well as visit a Zulu village. And we'll have some free time in the evening. We will get to go to our luxury beach accommodations, do some exploring and resting and have some spa treatments for those who might need it after all that travel. And then we're going to do some adventure stuff, in addition to relaxing on the beach. So there will be time to snorkel as well as kayak and do a turtle tracking tour. I don't know about you, but turtles are pretty awesome. They used to be my favorite animal. I used to collect them. They're pretty cool. I love turtles. Selfish add to this trip. Day 7, we'll have some more free time. Again, we're going to be on the beach, so just try not to overpack things with planned stuff, but people can definitely do things at their leisure. This accommodation has an amazing restaurant on site, so all the dinners will be 5-star gourmet as well. And then unfortunately, we have to go back to reality and home and work, and we'll have to say our goodbyes on days. The price for this trip, well, you know what's included. The price for this trip, it starts at $4,200 for double occupancy. And this is a big splurge as it is over a very popular time to travel, New Year's. And if you opt to have your room by yourself, I'm always going to share a room because I want to save some money. But if you opt to go solo dolo, you have to pay a little bit more. All right, and then I will round off this by sharing this fall promotion, which technically ends today and doesn't matter. Not that it doesn't matter. Still use it if you book today, but I have for some of you or all of you may know, I have a Black Friday special going on right now through the end of next week, the 6th, December 6th, which is 15% off any trip except the cruise. I can't give a discount on the cruise because I don't get anything off the cruise if I give a discount. So I unfortunately can't do that. But all the other trips, you know, I'm I'm willing to definitely share the wealth and give people an incentive to sign up. So if you book before December 6th, by December 6th, you can save 15% off. And if you pay in full and book by December 6th, you can save 20% off. So I don't know, what's 20% off for $3,000? It's almost $400. So not a bad deal. If you opt for that. And if you're like me, oh no, 20% off a $3,000 trip is $600. Oh my goodness. I mean, I knew this. So it might be worth it to put it on a credit card or to, pull out the savings. I'm not telling you else. So I will share those Black Friday discounts with you in the follow-up email because the November fall special one will be over by then. And then just a hearty thank you for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with me. And learning about Lesbifriends and letting me learn a little bit more about you. And thank you to everyone who was more than willing to reschedule or be on the reschedule call. I have an upper respiratory infection post traveling for 2.5 weeks because I didn't wear the mask on the plane and germs are real. So I'm still a little under the weather if you can't tell, but I can talk today. So I'm glad that a lot of you came and shared in this information session with me. All right, I'm gonna end talking and open it up for questions in general or anything that people wanna share.
I'll share something. First of all, I forgot to say in my intro, we have a mutual friend, and she told me that Lisa's the real deal. She's so nice. I would go on her trips, so I said, okay. And now that she said that, I'm brave now. But I just want to say thank you for having this space. I think since COVID, for me, I've been so scared to travel anywhere that's not in the United States. So being able to, I actually found you on Blue's Instagram. I saw that you comment on Blue's Instagram, Black Lesbians United, because I went to their retreat earlier this year or month or whatever. And I was like, okay, this is good. So yeah, I'm texting my friend now. We're trying to figure out a trip to go on. She wants to do the cruise, but I want to do Cabo. So we're gonna figure it out and we're gonna go on something. But thank you. And I hope you feel better.
Oh, thank you. And thanks for sharing about your friend. I'm sure they're amazing people, and yeah, word of mouth is the best. I didn't pay them to tell you that I was nice. I'm decent. But again, I plan the trips, but the people who come on the trips make the trip. So it's really a community effort. I think they're just like amazing people attract and energy is created. So you're going to meet great people. And thanks for being willing to take the chance and get to know more about Lesbifriends travel. Also, Blue is great. So sad I missed it this year because they changed the date. That's where I met RC last year. And RC came to Portugal and Spain this year with Lesbifriends travel, so couldn't make it to Blue. But Blue connects great people too. So I always like to plug good things that go on in the community. I want to go next year whenever they announce the dates. Did you have a good time?
Did. I had fun when I went, and it was a different experience for me. I don't know why I didn't think it was going to be cabins, but it was definitely a different experience for me. But I just really value Black lesbian community. Like that's something that I'm building and always building. So I really valued that experience. But now I'm like, I need a single occupancy room. So I know to do that movie quote.
I'm there sometimes. Cabins are not easy.
Exactly. Yeah, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Good. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else have a share? How is everybody spending the rest of their Saturday? I know it's early.
My brother's actually having a Thanksgiving dinner today at his house because he went to his wife's house. And so our immediate family didn't get to see him. So I'm thinking of going there, but I'm also thinking of staying in this bed.
Cause it's only,
Oh, it's almost 1 o'clock.
yeah, you're an hour behind us in Chicago.
Yeah. I go back to work after 8 weeks of being off. I go on Monday. So I'm kind of just wanting to just stay in my space before the world opens back up for me.
Okay, I hear that. And I got the pictures. RC had an amazing Thanksgiving dinner. I mean, my mouth was salivating looking at their pictures. So
That food, everybody was like, "Ooh, this was good." I was like, "Ooh, yeah." I'm starting a new, I don't want to say diet, but tomorrow. So I left all the food there at my mom's house so that I wouldn't eat anymore. Now I want some.
we'll get someone from your brother's house to drop you off a plate.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, Marie, we might need to talk about this web app stuff because Lesbifriends might need an app soon. Marie's gonna be working on her web app today. But we might need to talk because I want a Lesbifriends app. If anybody wants to share, feel free, but if not, I will just round it out with a repetitive thank you. I'm always available. The phone number in my signature line is my cell phone number. I've been told to get another cell phone. I don't give people your personal number, but I don't want to carry two phones. I actually have a business number. I don't use it. So you can text me, just, maybe not at 3 a.m. or just don't expect a response at 3 a.m. I prefer email because I can easily search and track for that, and receipts, but you can text me or call me. I'm happy to talk to people about all the things, all the travel nerdy things, credit cards, points, trip insurance, whether it's a Lesbifriends trip or not. I'm into information sharing and just growing and bettering ourselves. My life's motto is always ascending. I want people to continue to grow and learn and flourish. So I'm here as a resource, even outside of the Lesbifriends travel trips. I hope to meet you all in the near future. I'm taking December off, so I will see people starting in January. There might be a Lesbifriends event or two. For people who are signed up on trips, I'm planning our annual get together end of January, beginning of February, for those who want to travel to the DMV or our local. You will be invited to that as well. But yeah, I'm here. Thank you again for spending almost 2 hours of your time on Saturday. Sorry I went over, but thank you guys for being so curious and interested in the upcoming travel opportunities. And keep your ideas coming because I'm planning India for 2026 April, as well as Vietnam, and some other really great places. I haven't discovered them all yet. Even Jamaica. That I was literally looking up Jamaica earlier today or yesterday, because that's always a fun place to go to. Oh, and Canada, I'm down for Canada. Oh, and Trinidad, my friend wants me to do a carnival trip, which I've done before, twice. But I might take people to carnival if you want to shake your ass in 2026 too. So start working out now. I'm just kidding. No, I'm considering. Okay. Bye, guys, and happy Saturday.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks, Lisa.
See you,
Thanks,
everybody.
Darcy. I'm going to respond to
Bye.
all the messages.
Bye, everyone. Have a great Saturday.
You too.